Welcome back to another segment. 2 in a row for the boys. Come on, Arsenal. Anyways, the way I like to start the segments off is the first thing I want to look at is the starting lineup and my thoughts on the teams that Mikel Arteta has put out. Today I thought it's pretty much what I thought it would be. The only issue that I had, not issue, but something that was in the back of my mind was if he would start both Martinelli and Smith Rowe, because they both played last match and Smith Rowe is kind of getting used to first team football and Martinelli is getting used to being back from an injury. So I didn't know if he would start both of them. Glad he did. I had no issues with the starting lineup, as I said. Bringing in Aubameyang for Lacazette, I think that's, if Alba is healthy, I think that's common sense right there. Just because Alba has been the better striker throughout his Arsenal tenure, and he's the team captain now and all that stuff. So I had literally no issues with that. Second thing I wanted to see was if Martinelli and Smith Rowe would have the same, would apply the same pressure that they did against Chelsea, which they did early on in the match. I would say in the second half, I think they didn't do that as well, but I also think that maybe Mikel stopped pushing them up as much as he did in the first half. It was important for two reasons. The first reason is the keeper gets uncomfortable, and that's exactly what happened to Brighton's goalkeeper. I can't remember his name right now, but that's exactly what happened to him in the early stages. So his clearances were off, usually kicked out of touch or not precise to his teammates. The second reason is this is his fifth match playing for Brighton. So he doesn't have his legs under him. He hasn't played as much. He's not maybe used to the pace of the EPL, even though it is his fifth match. So he still slowly is starting to develop that. So that's when I found out this was his fifth match, I thought it's a great time to kind of push up and to see what he would do with the ball. The chance in the second half where Aubameyang kind of missed from, I can't remember who crossed it from the left side, but where he missed, and he kind of, I don't think the goal even made a stop. It hit him in his knee. And in form, Alba scores that with no questions asked. Like, that's Aubameyang's bread and butter right there. He puts that in 9 out of 10 times. But with being kind of out of form this season and coming back from an injury, I can see how that's missed. Although he should be bearing that even if he is out of form, because he is our best player. So he's got to bury that. Lacazette comes on and he scores, I believe, less than a minute after being on the pitch. Saka did great in bringing the ball up the pitch, finding Lacazette and Lacazette scoring. And all credit to both guys, really, because once you're rolling down the wing, sometimes your passing isn't precise, and Saka got it right on the money. Credit to Lacazette because he had to stop a little bit, kind of find his feet, and then put it behind the goalkeeper. And I think that's his first touch of the game, I believe, and he buried it right away, which is fairly impressive. Sometimes players take 10-15 minutes to kind of get their feet under them. That's why I've never really been a fan of bringing like a striker in with the last 5 minutes of the match when you need like a result. He needs some time to get his feet under him, and you can't expect a guy to come in and score right away. That does happen, but in most cases, I don't know if you can, say that you bring in a striker and have him score within 5 minutes of coming on. Next thing I want to talk about is the Holding and Pablo Mari partnership. It's been really good in the last 2 games. I guess you can question what kind of happens once Gabriel is back. Do you go with a back 3, or do you keep just the traditional back 4 and then 4-3-3? I think is what we played today and the last match. I'm not even sure, because we kind of just throw players there, and with the high pressure, it's kind of a formation that could be anything. But what happens with the partnership? So once Gabriel is back, does Arteta ease him in, or does he throw him in the fire right away and he starts with either Pablo Mari or Holding? My thing is, I don't think he's going to start him the first game he's back, whenever that is. I think it's going to be Pablo Mari and Holding, and then down the road, do you kind of rotate guys? I think we're out of all the cups now, so what happens in kind of like 3 or 2 matches in 4 days? I think that's when you're going to see some rotation. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But Pablo Mari has been really good, and Holding's been really good the last 2 matches. Again, similar to the Chelsea match, he had one or two passes that were kind of down the middle that got cut off by Brighton. The club has to do a little bit better of defending corners and stuff like that. And also our set piece ability has to be better. There's a lot of balls that were just to the near post and they just got cleared out right away. I thought Bellerin had another great game, and you know, ever since the interest from Barcelona has kind of, you know, we've heard in the news and stuff like that, he's been playing really well. So maybe he wants that Barcelona switch, because we all know he came up through their academy and then came to Arsenal. So that's something to keep an eye on. But 6 points in the last 2 matches, considering how bad the season had started. It's a great 6 points, and West Brom is the next match. West Brom lost today, I believe, 5-0 to Leeds. So going forward, that's another match we have to get. Been very impressed with Emile Smith Rowe. Been impressed with Martinelli. Martinelli reminds me a little bit of Alexis Sanchez in the terms of like his pressure on the opposing team. It's something that Alexis used to do very well, and that he still does to this day. And that's something I've always marveled at, because it's a job that not many strikers or forwards want to do. But he gives 110%, and I'm happy Martinelli is getting his feet under him, and I expect great things from him.